love real estate.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I am Sasha Chapman here with CHATMAN Realty Group, and this is my beautiful wife, Stephanie Michelle Chapman. How are you guys doing today? Thank you so much for joining us on
Let's Chat Real Estate.
Yep, we're so happy to be here. We just want to have a good time and have a conversation with you about what's going on here in Greater Fort Worth real estate. A little bit about myself. Once again, I guess let me just give you a rundown. My name is Sasha Chapman. I am a realtor with Keller Williams. Our branded name is CHATMAN Realty Group, and I am in business with the best folks I could possibly be in business with, my wife. Right? I'm in business with my wife. Also with the kids, we get our kids involved because we want them to be young entrepreneurs and learn what it means to grow a business. What would you say, Steph?
Yeah, definitely. The kids are super excited. I know a lot of you all have gotten to know them throughout our time here with Keller Williams. You got Selena as Little Boss and our son Sasha Jr. as Numbers. They love it. Yep. It's gotten them kind of, I want to say out of their shell a little bit, but because Selena's always been out her shell.
She's never in the shell.
Yeah. But just seeing them go around, Selena keeps little business cards in her lunchbox. I'm like, Mom, I gave my teacher one. Or someone else. Yes, she is highly, very, very well at lead generating. And then Sasha loves to just help doing open houses, passing out flyers and stuff. So when you see one, you almost see the other three of us.
Right.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So we try to have a good time and do this as a family. We want to teach our kids, like we said, to really what it is to grow a business, start their own business. But we're here about you. It's not about us. It is about you. Mm-hmm. It's about you and your questions, what you need here in real estate. Okay? So there's a lot of great things going on, but let me give you guys the show rundown real quick. And so excuse me for looking down a couple times because I'm working the screens and all that stuff as well. But here is our rundown thus far. We're going to go through our market update, okay? Then we're going to talk about what's happening here in Fort Worth, really nice and great events that are going on right now as we speak. And then we'll go with some buyer and selling tips, okay? But beyond that, we're going to really get into a lot of great things that you guys want to know. So let's get interactive. And today we're talking about how you choose the right realtor, okay? So let's talk about the market. So what is going on in Fort Worth market right now? I get this question all the time, so I'm just going to give you guys a rundown from this perspective. The market is doing very, very well. And we have been in I guess you would call it a seller's market, right, for the past 5 to 6 years and been riding pretty high, meaning that home values have been going up and up and up and up. And that's been very true. So it's been a great time to sell your home. Also, interest rates have been low. But they have been creeping up lately, okay? So they have been going up over the past year. As of right now, we're kind of flat with interest rates, like mid-4s, right? I see it all the time. I actually had a good friend of mine who wanted to refinance, and they got quoted on a 3.7, 3.8, something like that?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's a good time for you to sell your house still. It's a good time for you to buy a house. But if you're going to do it, you have to know the game. You have to understand what you're doing, and you need to be hooked up with the right people. What would you say, Steph?
I think that, just like he said, just to piggyback, you definitely need to be hooked up with the right people. Yeah. Meaning the right realtor and the right loan officer, the right title company.
Yeah.
It's somebody for everyone. And everyone is not going to click with this particular person. That everybody's personalities, are different. But when you find that right realtor over here,
what's up?
You're gonna know exactly what you're getting. That being said, when choosing the right realtor, there's certain things that you should look for, right?
Oh yeah. You know what? When you are looking for the right realtor, let's talk about why you need a realtor first. How about that? Let's just talk about the reason why you want to have a realtor is you really want to have a content expert who, this is what they do, Okay, this is what we do as real estate agents, and there's a lot of things that we can bring to the table to help you. Let me put up a graphic to show you guys, for example. So real quick here, what you see is a graphic that talks about all the things that we bring to the table. A good realtor has the market expertise. They know what's going on in the market, right? At the same time, you really need us to get inside of homes. Now, there are online buyers that you can go shop around and go into yourself. That is not always the best thing to do, and I'm not trying to badmouth them. Sometimes it's not the safest thing to do, you know, honestly. There's some bad stories to tell you guys there, but that's a whole other show. And then you need to really put out negotiation skills to work, and just the sheer paperwork. I laugh at this. The amount of paperwork that you're going to sign when you get ready to buy a home is it's ridiculous. It's a lot of paperwork. And you need someone who understands that paperwork. If they don't understand it, then that may not be the right individual for you. But you definitely need to have someone who understands the paperwork and they know how to get through the paperwork. And, you know, that's what you really need. Now, also, you need to have someone there from a referral network standpoint. I know I'm over the graphic, but I want you guys to be able to see us as well. And that's super important. The reason why it's important is because a lot of things happen during the transaction. You know, and you don't have access to all those market experts. And you're relying on your realtor's expertise and relationships to bring people to the table for you. Right?
I know personally, and I mean, obviously, this is your realtor right here for the DFW area. But as just a person on the outside that's not an agent, there are certain things that I would want to look for if I'm shopping around for a house and want to sell a house, especially if I'm a first-time home buyer, or I've had my house for a while and it's been a long time since I've worked with a realtor, and the person I used to work with, I probably really didn't like them anyways. Just saying, hypothetical. But there are things like how many clients are you working with right now, or how many houses have you sold, or, you know.
Well, it's beyond that stuff. It's just like right now, I'm just thinking about the things you got to go through with repairs. You know, especially with a seller. I get this question all the time. You know, the question that I get all the time is, hey, you know, what do I need to do to my house to keep the value up, right? And the name of the game at that point is for you to save money and to make money. But there's certain things that you do have to address to make sure your home is going to get you the top dollar. You know, if the carpet is old, it might be best to go ahead and replace it. Things like that. So do you have a flooring guy? Okay. Roofs, foundation, electrical work. Do you have all these trade folks that you can go talk to on a moment's notice and get going? Because a lot of times these things will come up when they're doing during negotiations or the option period.
Right.
And you need an expert right there. And if you don't have that connection, man, that can be pretty jarring. So you want your realtor to really have that. So let's just go back to the graphic.
And you have that, right? You have like a portfolio of different go-to guys for roofing and flooring and decorating and staging and right?
I do. And let me just say this. And if you are in the business, or if you're in the trade business in any way whatsoever, where you're doing home repair, you're a carpenter, you name it, plumber, I always need to find more people. I have folks that I like, but people come and go. They come and go. And let me just say this. I am looking for people who are going to, treat my customers right, okay? Give them fair quotes, make sure they can get the job done, and stand by their work and stand by their word. So
important, stand by your word.
If you're that type of a individual, then contact me. If you got that bad rep out there, I'm not trying to be mean, but don't contact me. That's not what I want, because I don't want to pass you on to my clients if you don't have that. And I am going to vet individuals. That's what we do. We make sure we vet, as you should vet me as well. Okay. So real quick, Steph, let's just transition real quick. When it comes down, to finding the right realtor, finding the right agent, there's a couple things that just come to mind. Like, there's different types of agents out there. So let's just talk about that before we go into the different things. So there are agents out there who are, really transactional, and it's not a bad thing. And let me just say this disclaimer. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, and please, no one jump in the comments and put any names. Please don't do that.
Checking comments right
now. No, yeah, please do. Let's check that. Hold up real quick. Let's not do that. But
And we appreciate everyone that's tuning in right now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But the thing is, when it comes down from that perspective, you just want to make sure that you have a good agent that's taking care of you, who's going to be watching your back. But there's a couple of different agents out there, right? You have the high producing agent, and some of those agents have teams. Okay, so those are good things. A team's a good thing to be on. Mm-hmm. I myself, this is my team. My family's my team. Got the best teammate ever. You know what I'm saying? But are you going to be working with that individual? Those are things you have to ask. You also have the type of agent who's just purely transactional. And I work with them and negotiate against them all the time. And those individuals, nothing against them, but sometimes people who are just purely transactional, you need to make sure they're looking out for you and they have your best interest. And then there's the flip side of that. There's the agent that scares you away from every house. I've seen it. An open house has got a perfectly fine house, and the agent is telling everything wrong with the house. And you want that, but with a good explanation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not that.
Not just that, there's a crack.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a crack. Oh, there.
Because if the reality, folks, is when you're buying a house, you're buying an older home, you're buying a house that it may come with some issues, but it also may be in very, very good condition. And our job as an agent is to distinguish when it's help you understand when it's in good condition, when it's not. And then make sure you get hooked up with a good inspector. That's super important. A good inspector is going to point all of those things out.
Important.
But I have seen those agents that they're pointing out every little thing, and then you hear the story of, well, we've been out here looking for a house for 4 or 5 months. I'm like, yeah, I know. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Right, and it shouldn't take you that long to find a house, especially if you, again, he's the agent. You know exactly what you want. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been thinking about it, researching, watching YouTube and HGTVs and everything else. So you pretty much have an idea of what you want going forward looking for a house.
Right.
It shouldn't take you 4 or 5 months.
No, it really should not take that long. There's really no reason for it to take that long. And when it does take that long, I'm always, at this point, I'm not shocked. I used to be shocked when I would hear that, but I'm not as shocked as I used to be. So let's just jump into a couple of questions that people really should be asking when it comes down to looking for an agent. So let me pull this graphic up real quick, and I got it. Give me one sec.
And remember, at any point in time, you can send us any questions or comments. He is willing and ready to reply back to you.
Right. So, for sellers, let's talk about sellers right now. So, there's a couple things that sellers should be asking. I'm going to talk specifically to sellers right now. Here's a couple things. Can you throw an effective open house? Now, this is a funny question because there are a lot of stigmas out there about open houses, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, some people don't like to do them. I love doing open houses because you'll hear some people say open house is only for the agent. And part of that's true. I'm not going to pretend like it is. It will help us get more leads. Mm-hmm. However, if you know how to throw an effective open house...
And we know how to throw one.
Yeah, we do. We do pretty decent with it. But if you can throw an effective open house... you will actually help your clients out and help save them time. For example, we've had clients in which I won't say a lot of kids, but they have kids, they have dogs, they can't get away. Mm-hmm. And so when you have that, they need somebody to help come in there and get their house marketed and get it moved pretty quickly in transaction. So we're pretty good in doing that, in which that we can get like 30 to 40 people at an open house. Okay. Most other individuals will get somewhere between 6 and 10, and that's not a bad open house.
That's not.
But we go way overboard with our signage, and we bring a lot of folks there. So if we're getting 40 qualified buyers there, someone's putting an offer in, and that's how we were able to sell homes quickly. Now I can't tell you everything because that's our strategy, but can your agent throw an effective open house?
Like agent magic.
I like that. Write that down. I like that. Agent magic, right? Here's another important question. How long should your house be on the market? Okay, that is a super, super important question. Your agent should be able to say that right away. They should also be able to tell you what the pricing strategy is. Now, let me just say this. This is super important. Everyone should be presenting data. There's a saying that we used to say in healthcare, in God we trust, all else bring data. Okay, so going back to my healthcare admin days, bring me data so I know that you actually did the job right, and I know what you're doing. So ask your agent for the data. Show you the list of homes in your area, in your neighborhood that have sold. That is going to tell you, it's going to be a great indicator of how much your house will be sold for. But there is still a strategy to how to price your home to bring the buyers there. So your agent should be able to answer that right away. Okay? And then what changes should you make in your home to increase value? Now, sometimes you don't need to make any changes. Sometimes you just need staging. So that's another question. Does your agent help you provide staging? Do they have someone who can help guide you through that to teach you how to declutter? The way we live in a home is not the way we sell a home. I mean, not even a little bit. What would you say about that?
Oh, the way we stage at home
versus living in it, yeah.
Well, based on how we live,
no, we couldn't sell this home. Yeah, we could not sell this home right now. No.
I
mean, not to put us down, but most people
you live. I mean, kudos to those that when you walk into their house, everything is in order. It looked like you just opened up a magazine. The countertops are all cleaned off and stuff.
But we did have that one client.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's online watching, but
if she is, kudos to you. You know who you are.
I don't know how you do it, but
yeah, you walk in her house at any point in time, everything is lined up, labeled, in order. It's just like, wow.
It was completely staged.
And
that's how they live.
I'm like, how you live? Like, no, seriously, did you know we was coming over and you put everything in the box?
No, that was just normal. That was normal.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For us, you come into our house.
We live
in our house.
Yeah, we live in.
Yeah, you're going to see some shoes
and some socks.
It's
not bad, but we're living in it.
Right. And you're living in it. And that's the difference. I mean, if you're getting ready to sell your house, you do want it staged. So that way someone can come in and visualize themselves in that space. They can visualize their jacket being tossed on the couch somewhere or their shoes somewhere. But they need to have an idea for furniture size, like your space. So I may have a couch that's oversized. Is it going to fit in this space or my bedroom set, etc.? Right. That's why staging is so important.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. And here's a big one. Can I contact your past clients? You know, it's easy for anyone can toot their own horn, but talk to their clients. Look at the reviews on Facebook or Realtor.com, whatever. Now, I am a person, I don't believe in going to Realtor.com or Zillow. I want all my reviews to be done on Facebook or Google. It's a business thing, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, can you get to my reviews and do you understand am I helpful? And if you ever need to get my clients and talk to a couple, there are some who are okay with us sharing their information. So I always ask them that as well, whatever, and they'll vouch for her. But if your agent does a good job for their past client, they're going to vouch for them. So don't be afraid to ask that particular question at all. Here's another one here. So how many houses have you sold? I mean, that is a big question. Have you sold quite a few homes? Now, let me just say this. Everyone starts out new, okay? So don't just shrink away from the new individual. If that new individual presents you with a nice process, has a good marketing strategy, that might be someone you want to try out, okay? Now, you don't want to be Frankenstein's monster, and have someone just really not know what they're doing. But it's also important if they're in a brokerage where they have a good team around them, good mentoring around them, because we all started new in something. You think about when you started your career or your job. Someone took you under their wing and helped you. Right. That's life.
Yeah, so, you have to start somewhere. Yeah. So don't rule them out. At least give someone an opportunity to give you their game plan, their vision. And you never know. You could be using that realtor.
Yeah.
For life.
We were new just like 2.5, 3 years ago. We were pretty much new into getting this. But that's also another important question. I don't think I have it up here is, what did you do before you got into real estate? That's an important question. Because you can bring those skills over into real estate. Right. Okay. And is that skill set going to help you? For example, you see I have a lot of slides to kind of go through. I'm a process engineer. I'm a Lean Six Sigma healthcare dude. That was my healthcare administrator, not dude. But that was my previous career. And that's really helped and served me well in terms of negotiating and being able to stay firm and also having a good process for you to follow to buy or sell a house. All right. Next thing is, really, wrong graphic up. There we go. Oh, here we go. Ask them this. It's not a question. Show me your online presence. Do they have a presence online? And let me just say this. We're not selling houses back in the 90s. We're not. This is a new age, new technology. Like for example, we're streaming live. We do lots of things like this because we want individuals to know who we are. A, we want to get the message out there to help you. B, and we want to expose our clients' homes. So that is something that's going to be super important. What is their online presence?
Right.
Do they have an active Facebook page, YouTube channel? Can they get people to look at your house online? If they can't, that's something you need to be concerned with. I can tell you this: when I put a house online, the amount of marketing that we do, we're always trending that house like number 1, number 2, number 3 in the area on Zillow. Right? That's important because buyers go to Zillow first. You should be going to CHATMANRealtyGroup.com, but we understand that you've
for
been,
some real time information.
Right. But we understand you've been programmed to go to Zillow
and
so
other sites.
We have to understand how to do that, right? So,
but if you do go, bring those homes that you've researched on Zillow and the other sites too.
Yeah.
And so just kind of do a comparison, because a lot of times, and he can, I guess, vouch for that, that they may be off. So you may see a home like, oh my gosh, I love that house. And that house is really under contract or off the market altogether. So not knocking those other sites, but definitely do your research, get that information, contact Sasha Chatman, and just tell him, hey, can you just look this house up? Let me know what's going on with it.
Yep. The next question is going to be, what's your negotiating strategy? Okay. How do you negotiate? What do you do? And how does it work? And that's an important one. Let me explain that one. The reason that's so important because I get individuals who start negotiating pretty tough, right? And they really come at you in this really weird, crazy way. And that I just laugh it off because, like, what are you going to do? Seriously? You want to yell at me over the phone? I look at the other agent as my teammate. My job is to help facilitate and take the emotion out of the transaction for my seller or my buyer, and their job is to do the same, and us help figure out the best way to have both parties moving forward, me representing your interest and the other agent representing that interest. If you have an agent who likes to yell, cuss, and scream on the phone, child, please. That ain't working. That ain't working. No one is going to falter with that. Agents are very tough people. Very, very tough. But you need to understand your agent's negotiating strategy, and do they understand when to negotiate? Okay, so there's a lot of things we can talk about from that perspective. But those are some of the questions that sellers you should be asking. Now, let's talk about our buyers out there.
Okay.
Because sellers have kind of been through it a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, Steph? And so sellers, since they have been through it, they kind of have a little bit more meat on the bones in terms of what they should be, asking, what's going on. We got a couple comments.
Oh, I'm just telling everyone thanks for watching. Let's see. Is it normal in the current market for buyers to ask for extras? Like leave the fridge, the washer, dryer? What's a reasonable ask?
What is a reasonable ask? Well, here's the answer to that. Who was that? Was it
Mr. Jordan Newsom?
Okay. So a reasonable ask right now is anything. Okay, there we go. Anything is a reasonable ask. And the reason I say that is because you can get it. Now, how we craft your offer is going to dictate what you're going to get and what you're going to receive. Okay? So I know I can write a very strong offer. It's going to make you, be very, very competitive. And when it makes you, it's going to make you competitive in a way that is going to help the extra thing you ask for come through. So for example, let's talk about closing costs. There's lots of ways of getting you closing costs. People say, oh, it's not the market to get closing costs. That's not true. I've helped a lot of individuals, especially vets, who put no money down and then also get like $3,000 to $5,000 in closing costs. So we literally get into a house without nothing at all whatsoever. There's lots of ways of doing it. It is not always about the amount of money that you're offering on the home. There's certain things you need to know and certain things you need to understand what's important to that seller. So yes, when you get ready to buy, you can get those extra things. And here's the answer always in real estate. It depends. It depends on who's your agent. It depends on who's on the other side. It depends on the seller. But yes, absolutely, don't be afraid to ask. Yeah.
Take place.
What I always tell people is this stuff. You can ask. The worst thing they can say is no. You've been told no your entire life.
So it doesn't hurt to ask. And probably,
no, it don't.
Depending on the situation, if they really need to leave or is a push come to shove or whatever, like sure you can probably negotiate leaving the fridge or the washer and dryer or something.
Yeah. People are getting rid of washers these days, you know.
I would get rid of mine, but that's a whole nother show.
Don't start that one because you wanted that washer. She wanted the washer. We'll talk about that another time. Yeah, that washer. It's a sore subject in the Chapman household. I'll just say, you brought up the washer.
Well, Mr. Jordan asked the question, so I was like,
washer.
Yeah, the washer. All new things are not the best.
Anyway, okay. Here's a very important question you should be asking to your real estate agent. Why did you get into real estate? That's a very important question. Because you want to know what motivates them. What makes them get up in the morning? What makes them want to actually get it done? You know what I'm saying? Why you give me that look?
So what made you get into real estate, Mr. Chapman?
Ooh, loaded question. You put me on the spot. Okay. All right. I'll try to get a short answer. Help me make sure I keep it short.
Probably shouldn't ask.
No. Okay. So realistically, I had have a mentor. Several mentors, actually. Back in Ohio. Shout out to my OH people. How you guys doing? But he always used to joke with me that I should be doing something else. I should be working for myself. Right? And I don't even have the camera on me. Let me put it up here real quick. Sorry. So here's the deal. What this individual did, he kind of guided me, started mentoring me, and I always saw him working but not working. It seemed like his work and his personal life was just one and the same, and he had a great time. He was enjoying himself, and this guy had several cars, all these things that just establishes and says, he's doing all right. Mm-hmm. So that's what he did, and he was a landlord, so you know exactly who you are. Not gonna put him on the spot, but this guy owned around 70 properties. And started kind of telling me the game, and I was actively listening, and I said, okay. And I had another good brother of mine who was like, dude, you need to stop working for you. Take that skill set elsewhere. And I love healthcare. Let me just say this. I absolutely love it. It's been a strong passion of mine. Nothing against healthcare. I love it 100%.
Shout out to everybody he used to work with.
Yes. Cleveland Clinic folks, how you guys doing? All my family back at Mercy, what's up? But here's the deal. I cannot pass on employment to my family, to my kids. Sasha, Julia, and Selena I can't give that to them. They have to go work for someone else. And I guess I just hit a point in my life, babe. I'm sorry, let me short it up. I hit a point that I really just wanted to be my own boss and work for myself. And I also didn't want a salary cap for us, right? Mm-hmm. Real estate is one of these things that you can do. When you really help people, you're doing something, and you get to help a lot of people, you're doing a good thing. A. B, you can do pretty well with the financial. And so that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted something that I can give over to Sasha Jr., something I can give over to Selena, and they could take and run with it, or they could sell it, whatever, but something to give to the next generation and just build wealth. My way of thinking now has changed, and Stephanie probably will give me that look because we have these talks all the time. We don't want to make the mistakes we don't want to pay for the mistakes in our 30s for our 40s. We've done that a little bit, but we want to get better every single year so we're not paying for past mistakes. And so we're always talking about how we can be better, what we need to do for our family. But that's the long story, very long story short. Not short, but that's the long story of why I want to get into real estate. And then the next question you want to ask him is, how long have you been in real estate? And for us, for me, I've been in real estate now going on 3 years. I'm down here in Texas. Glad to get my license down this way first. You can't transfer license from one spot to the next. And then beyond that, how many clients do you have? That is a tough question to answer, but I always like people to ask that question. And the way I answer that question is, I have a lot of clients that we kind of run through. Now, here's the deal. I have clients that are getting ready to buy. I got people who buy right now. So if I was to say like right now, how many buyers am I actively shopping? Probably about 7-8 people right now with actively shopping buyers. And then how many sellers do we have right now? 4. Well, technically 5. Yeah, because we got one coming up and then we got another about to close. Anyway, so you want them to be able to answer that particular question. I have to look at my numbers again. But what we look at is how many we actually have going at a time. And it gets hairy. Sometimes you want to make sure that your agent can handle that. Are they on a team? And are you going to be talking to them or are you talking to someone else? And then you want to ask them, if a buyer, what is the process? Okay, so your agent should definitely have a process. They should definitely have a process for you to follow. If they don't have a process for you to follow, then how are they helping you out? How are they getting you moving from A to Z? How do you get from being a renter to an owner? And we have a very good streamlined process that we have. We have a video about that as well. And then last thing, whether you're working with your team member. If they're on a big team, you want to know that. Because what we have is we call it the Rainmaker, right? And so let me pull myself. I want to kind of explain that one here. The Rainmaker, the way it works is this. You have the person that's at the very top of the team, and then they have several different individuals underneath them. The person at the top is a Rainmaker. So they're making it all happen for the individual underneath them. So you might meet with that Rainmaker, but the person who might be actually working with you as a buyer's agent may be totally different. Okay? And the question is, will you gel with that individual, and does that mess up or help communication? So those are some of the things that you need to know. And those are some of the questions that you definitely want to ask. What's up?
I don't know. I did something.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Get back to.
Click here. That's what you're looking for?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. Now here's the next question. That's a really big one, and it's super, super important. What makes you different from other agents? That's a question that you really got to ask. How are you different? Right? What makes you stand out? Let me tell you, there are a lot of agents out there. I mean, there are a lot of agents. You got full-time agents. You got part-time agents. You got, I only want to sell 12 houses a year agents. You got, I want to sell 120 houses a year agents. You have a lot of different agents. So what makes them different from the next person? Right? For us, I think that the thing that makes us different is, we're super passionate. There's some really good agents out there. Let me just say that. But
some awesome agents.
Yeah. I'm super passionate, and what you're getting, our team is my family, right? We don't just help people buy a house. We become friends with our clients. Sometimes it's hard on holidays because we can't be everywhere, and boy, just trying to balance that becomes tough sometimes. But also the thing that makes us a little bit different, I would say, for me, is that I'm a tech ambassador to Keller Williams. I go by Tech Jedi because it sounds really cool, right? I think Yoda's around here somewhere. But
your cup.
Oh yeah. Hey. Do or do not. There is no try. But at the end of the day, the thing that makes me a little bit different from that perspective is I do have the mastery over technology that's going to give you that advantage. I can find the houses out there that others cannot find sometimes, right? And I know how to put your house in the best light. So we do a lot of live streaming. You guys have seen some of the videos that we do to get people watching and seeing the house. That's how we get the houses sold differently. We are not afraid to try something different and be creative. There's sometimes it's been hit or miss, I must admit. But hey, we're gonna get back up there. We're gonna take another swing. So
right.
I think that's a big thing. What would you say?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes have to try new things to reach different audiences.
Yep.
We do a lot of new school type of stuff, and sometimes you have the older generation, and they're not into all this fancy stuff, as they like to say. But we like to try to keep ourselves flexible. He more so, and try to reach everyone's needs.
Yeah. So I think how I like to say that is that we keep a very professional appearance, and we have a very professional processes and techniques set up. But we use a lot of fun marketing to make things happen. We do spoofs, things like that, and we want to have fun. We want to have fun in our business. We talk about this all the time. We want to have fun and not have it be such a business. I was in corporate America for 16 years, guys. Okay. No, anyway. Here's another one. How well do they know the area? Okay. Now, don't expect you to know every last nick and cranny of the neighborhood, but they need to know the area.
Turn and twist but I mean, for those that's watching and live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, for us more so North Fort Worth, everything is changing. You go to bed tonight, wake up tomorrow, and before the end of the day, there's a whole new building that's just been put up with a sign up.
Right. And
so even though it's his job to know, he can't know every single thing. It's just like every other agent. They're not going to know every single thing. But
I mean, that's true. But here, I do pride myself in knowing what's going on. Like, especially up here, up in North Fort Worth, when someone's building something, I mean, I'm attuned to that. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Let me go find out. I'll stop and go check out what's going on. When you see a new grand opening, I want to find out who's there. I want to know who's in my community. It's not about just you guys in real estate. It's about me and my family. I want to know what's coming here. What new attraction do we have? And then what things are we losing?
Bowling alley.
Yeah, with Bolero. Yeah. Like we went to they were Brunswick zone all the time. So when it changed, like, well, what? I got that email from. It's like, what is this? And I said, I think that's where Brunswick is at. But we want to know, and we want to make sure that you know. Mm-hmm. So that goes back to one thing I want to put out there is we have a new series on our YouTube channel about what's going on here in Fort Worth. So if you go to our YouTube channel there, Keller Williams CHATMAN Realty Group, you will find all those different videos that we're putting up. New videos every Thursday, but we're putting videos up about what's going on in the area, what thing new is coming out there. So if you do know something new, let us know about it. And we would love to put it out there to let everyone else know. Okay? Here's another question real quick. I'm going to put this one out here. Is how do your fees work? All right, let's talk about it.
You're talking money right now, huh?
No, wait. But this is let me do this. Let me zoom in on that one. Okay.
Ooh, he about to get serious.
I'm not getting serious, but I want you to understand. So let's talk about that. All right, because every agent has their own way of doing business, and I'll just say that. When you're representing a buyer, you get paid by the seller in commission regardless. Okay, so when you get paid by the seller, that's where the commission comes from. That's how we get paid. Okay, I myself am not charging my clients anything else. Okay, I don't have a desk fee that I'm charging. I don't have a transaction fee. I know people who do that, and that's how they want to run their business. That's fine. I personally don't do that because I'm getting paid based off of results, and that result is getting you into a home. Okay. At the same time, if someone wanted to get out of contract with me for me representing them, I don't have a fee for them to get out of. I only want to work with folks who want to work with me. That's it. Let me say it again. I only want to work with folks who want to work with me because life is too short, and I've never had anyone say, I don't want to work with you anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. If they don't want to work with me, that'll be fine. But the service that we provide, we think is good enough to where everyone's not trying. We're not having that problem. But ask your agent. Make sure you understand what the fees are, and make sure you understand the representation agreement that you're signing. Now, will that person work with you still without a representation agreement? A lot of people do. I don't. And let me tell you why. That is to protect you and me. Mm-hmm. If I don't have a signed document saying that I represent you, you're a customer, not a client, and there's a difference. There's a difference. I owe everyone honesty, but you owe your client fiduciary duty, loyalty, trust, all of that, and there's confidentiality. So the agreement protects you as well as me. At the same time, the agreement also protects me to make sure that I'm going to be able to get paid for those services. So think about it. Would you go to work every single day, work hard, and maybe get paid? Because that's what agents do. That is what we do on a consistent basis. And I mean, that's part of the game. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. But for me personally, I'm going to make sure I have the agreement signed, and that's just how we're going to roll. Right. Yep. All right. So last couple of questions here. Let's kind of wrap it up. That's the wrong one. I'm sorry. Also, you want to ask them, how will you be communicating? Okay. How will they communicate? Son, what is it?
You need to sit in a little bit.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. My son is telling me to scoot over. We're good. All right. And then also, here's the thing. They need to be listening to you. Now that they have heard all of the things that you've asked those questions, what's the strategy? What is the strategy that they're going to have for you going forward to help you move and buy a house? Okay. And then ask them about how will they communicate. I would just go and tell you guys, communication is key. You need someone who's going to communicate on your level. I text a lot. I talk on the phone. I do a lot of Zoom meetings. I do a lot of my buyers like that. We can do that Zoom meetings. I spend a lot of videos. I'm a video guy because I think sometimes people take emails the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You can't take a video message with me saying, "Hey, this is what I think. I need you to do this, that, and the other, and this is what I'm doing for you." So those are things that I like to try to do to get things going.
And it also makes it a little bit more personal, too, to get an email and it's actually seeing you and hearing your voice, getting to know your personality versus just getting something in black and white and, like you said, trying to read in between the words to see what they're really trying to say.
That's true. So, all right, guys. we're not going to hold you guys too much longer. We're going to go over what do you need to do when it comes time to find the right realtor, and how do you find the right realtor, and what it is that you need to, be looking for. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please give us a call. Here's our contact information down below, 817-668-0311. Okay? And my email's down here below as well. You can find us all over the place. You can find us on YouTube. If you're watching live on YouTube, here's our YouTube channel. Make sure you go out there, guys. Check out our YouTube channel. We've done a lot of great put a lot of great content out there for you. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Like I said, every Thursday we put new content out there. And we try to give you guys a series that you're looking for about what's going on over here in Greater Fort Worth.
So if there's something that he probably didn't talk about tonight and you want to have seen in a show coming up, email him, call him, let him know, comment below any ideas that you might have for the show.
Yep. Also, you can also reach us here on Facebook as well at CHATMAN Realty Group. We always put out content on CHATMAN Realty Group as well. We're going to bring you guys some more behind the scenes events, and just so you can see what the life of a realtor, what it is that we really, really do. Some people think you just get the phone call and go sell a house. No, there's a lot of work that goes into this. A lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, he's he's up late, so don't think like, oh, it's past 8 o'clock. He is still up.
Text me. You can hit me up.
Text him, calling, working.
Yep.
He's up.
All right. You can also hit us on Twitter. You can also hit us on Twitter as well, CHATMAN Realty Group. And I'll just say one more thing, because they just remind me on YouTube. I'm starting a new series about new construction homes, where I'm going and showing you guys walkthroughs on new construction homes. Okay, so make sure you go and you check that out. It's gonna be really super cool. Matter of fact, I got a new video up right now. Okay, it's up right now. It is a beautiful home down in DeSoto that is a steal on the market. I mean, the backyard is huge. Huge.
It's a 4-bedroom home, right, in DeSoto?
But you guys see this backyard, because this backyard, guys, I'm telling you, Jordan, we could practice our red zone offense in this backyard. Is so big. It really, really, really is. Seriously. So you guys want to check this out, because it's a nice house. It's a Bloomfield home. But we'll be showing you more homes in Greater Fort Worth that are on the market right now, spec homes ready to go, waiting for you.
Yeah, and you got a home coming on the market soon, right?
Yes. I forget that one. Yeah, we do have a home that's coming on the market. A new home, new listing. We'll probably hit the market sometime next week. It's gonna be 3466 Fossil Park Drive. Let me just tell you. Okay, I'm gonna get the information out there. Home. We're getting pictures tomorrow. It is a super nice home. Okay, and awesome sellers. Let me just say this. But the rooms in this home, the bedrooms are huge. I mean, they're gigantic. Really, really big. Right here in North Fort Worth, okay? It's in a very nice area. You cannot miss it. When you go by, restaurants right nearby. You can always get out, go have a lot of good time, have a great time, have some fun. But you got to check it out. 3466 Fossil Park Drive. I'm going to get the pictures out there soon.
Especially if you have kids. The house is like walking distance to this really nice park.
Yeah.
The house...
It's nice.
It is so nice.
It is. And you know what? Here's a super cool thing that you don't see a lot of times. There are 2 ways to go upstairs, but there's a stairway that leads out of the master bedroom that goes up. So you can have like your own private office
right there in your master bedroom.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes. Yep. It's a lot of little neat little twists and turns in this house that you guys will see it.
We'll get the pictures out there soon, because our photographer's taking pictures tomorrow. And we'll get them out there so you guys can see it. It's coming soon. And if you know someone's looking for a home this way, hit us up. All right. Well, we're going to tune on. We'll let you guys go. All right. Thank you for joining us here. I am Sasha.
All right. We was getting a call just now. Probably about that house.
All right. You guys take care.
Bye-bye. See you next